All right, hello and welcome to another edition of the Tech Corner. I'm George Tsilis, Senior Markets Contributor here with the Schwab Network. Today's edition of Tech Corner, we're going to be highlighting Supermicro Incorporated. Supermicro caters to end markets, including enterprise data centers, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, 5G, and edge computing networking as well. Some of the mainstay competitors include legacy players such as Dell Incorporated, as well as Hewlett-Packard Enterprises. Now, the unique value of Supermicro Incorporated is the ability to rapidly deploy innovative server solutions that are essentially highly customizable and energy efficient. They become basically products that mainstay legacy players like Nvidia utilize to help improve efficiencies of their technologies as well as reduce costs. Now, when it comes to the company, there has been a sort of sticking point when it comes down to financial reporting. Going back to the mid part of last year, 2024, the company failed to provide its annual report for 2024, as well as since then has failed to report its Q3 and Q4 earnings for September as well as December 2025. Now, recently, if we go back to the 11th of February, the company did provide preliminary guidance when it comes down to their fiscal 2024's earnings. The company denoted an increase in sales by about 54% on the high end, around 5.77 billion. They also noted as a company that about 70% of their total sales for the quarter were AI-centric. In other words, artificial intelligence-related data center markets were the highest component of their total sales. The other thing the company denoted on a forward basis is 2025's EPS as well as sales. Now, when it comes to sales, this is important, because based upon some technology lags as well as inventory lags following Nvidia's GPU technologies called Blackwell, Supermicro actually reduced its EPS as well as top-line sales. Top-line sales, by the way, from $30 billion to $25 billion for 2025. The other thing the company denoted is, again, gross margins were relatively weak as compared to the previous quarter. But overall, there was one nugget highlight that I suggest is important for Supermicro. The company did denote that their expected fiscal year 2026 revenues are estimated to be about $40 billion, and that's about $15 billion relative to the 2025 high-end estimates, which were already reduced from $30 billion to $25 billion. Inclusive of management's confidence in achieving that $40 billion 2026 revenue estimate, the company suggests that they're positioned to benefit significantly from increasing AI demand of their servers, but also strategic partners with major infrastructure companies like Nvidia. Now, a financial fundamental catalyst to consider here is if we take the earnings estimates as well as top-line sales for 2026, particularly, again, that $40 billion in 2026 estimated sales, relative right now to about a $35 billion market cap, some value investors would consider this a fair valued stock, considering it's trading at a price to sales of less than 1. Now, on the other positive note for Supermicro, even though it's made a nice move over the past few weeks, take into consideration the technical analysis. One of the things to consider from an intermediate trend reversal standpoint is the stock has closed 2 consecutive days above its 200 period moving average. Now, that 200 period moving average is important because it can provide some institutional resistance on the stock, but also institutions like that 200 period moving average is particularly an intermediate term level of support. Now, in light of some of those positive elements to Supermicro, we have to address some of the concerns. First and foremost is the company needs to overcome basically accounting concerns which have cast a shadow over its reputation. The company did denote in its last conference call that there were some customer attrition based upon the inability of the company to have reported its annual report for 2024. Now, other concerns we have to consider is Nvidia's Blackwell GPU timelines for delivery, as well as technology innovations. Competition is also something we have to consider when it comes to Supermicro. But again, foremost comes down to next week, when the company on the 25th of February is expected to provide its updated 10K, which includes its 2024 annual report, as well as its updated financials for both September and December, which represents the first half of the fiscal year 2025. All right, so next week on the Tech Corner, we're going to feature fintech company Block, which is now listed under symbol XYZ. A few other stocks to keep an eye on include major names in the enterprise software space. That includes Zoom Incorporated, Snowflake, as well as Salesforce. But the biggest report next week to consider is Nvidia, which is expected to report on February 26th. Thanks for joining me on the Tech Corner this week. I'm George Tsilis, Senior Markets Contributor here with the Schwab Network. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.